Hey, it's David Beckham Breeze Flippers back in my shipping laundry room. It's the day after Christmas, and it's got a few orders to ship out today, so I wanted to kind of go through that. I also want to talk a little bit about the speed of shipping that we use and why we use it. And we had a case filed against us, so we'll talk about that real quick. And it's not a big deal, but I want to explain what happens so that when you get one of those, you can know exactly how to handle it. All right, first of all, we had some good sales actually over Christmas, which was great. So this week has been going pretty good. We're, I don't know, probably in the range of about maybe almost $370 in eBay, and we had a $130 sale on Poshmark. So we'll look at the Poshmark sale real quick. This is a Tory Burch bag. Actually, it's pretty nice. It's a printed bag. Brand new. I don't think it's ever been used. We were at a garage sale. The lady had some amazing high-end purses and clothing. She did very well, apparently. She said she bought it, never used it, and she was selling this, and we actually purchased this, and I think I sold the other purse a while back, just a few days ago. A purse that was like a backpack, and then this Tory Burch bag, which it sat for a little while, but it did finally sell on Poshmark. We got $130 for it. So that's going to go out today. Sherry gets to wrap that because she does all that stuff so nicely, and I'm not very pretty when it comes to shipping. I'm more effective. So I was telling you that we actually had some things about shipping. One of the things that we do, and we do ship every day, and I'll talk about that real quick, is that the reason we do it is, one, it's easy for me. I can pack at night, or I can pack very early in the morning, or I can pack right before lunch if it's not a lot of items. And I try to pack whenever they come in. So typically whenever I get an item, I just go ahead and get it kind of packed and ready to go. Now that I'm shooting some videos, that changes up things a little bit, but that's okay. I kind of enjoy that part too. But so we'll pack things out, and I ship them every day because I work out of the house, so I can leave anytime I want and go drop off packages over lunch. So so it works out really well for me. So in return for that, because we do 24-hour or same-day shipping, or within 24 hours, one-day shipping, I guess is what it is, we get a 10% kickback on the fees for eBay. So if eBay charges, let's say round numbers, $5 for fees, we get 50 cents back. So 10% of the $5 fee. So while it doesn't sound like a lot, and sometimes it's 10 cents, sometimes it's 15 cents, 20 cents, but at the end of the year, I think we calculated it up, it was somewhere in the vicinity of about $400 to $500 back overall from the shipping that we've done. So I don't think that's a bad thing. It's not a huge amount of money. Probably doesn't matter to some people, but for me, the one-day shipping doesn't really bother me. Now we'll see how things go as we do more videos and stuff, and see how that goes. But we did have some other sales. This one, this is the reason we want to do inventory all the time. So this is a pair of jeans, and these are what's called smoke rise jeans, I believe. And let's see if I can find the actual sheet. Yep, they are smoke rise Malibu jeans, distressed, ripped, and they're 34s. I didn't realize at one point I had two of these. We picked them up in a deal of some sort well back, and I only had one listed. So when the one sold, these other ones sat in there, and I found them maybe about 3 weeks ago in the bin. And I was like, these aren't listed. And so I listed them quickly, and fortunately, because of we using List Perfectly, I could just grab the listing and relist it. It went up, and they sold. We got, let's see, we took an offer on it because we had I think a special going on, but we sold them for $30, and they'll get $6.99 or $8.99 shipping. So those are going to go out today as well. Some other things that we sold. These are always interesting. So for the longest time, my wife, my daughter always buy glasses, right? So, and they always get the nice brands, and these were fairly decent brands. So these were just regular eyewear, and they aren't sunglasses, but they are regular eyewears. So these are Vera Bradley glasses. Now, when you sell these, even though there's a prescription inside of them, you sell them as frame only. Now, you can pop the lenses out if you really want to, but that's not completely necessary. You can sell them as is, but just say frame only, because it's more likely, you can't sell a prescription glass. That's the kind of way it works. But we can sell them like this, and we did sell them. So for the longest time, they just sat in a drawer, and we never even thought about it. And then I saw somebody, I think it was J Ride, I think he was talking about that, and he's on YouTube. and he was selling these glasses, and he says he just sells them as frame only. And I was like, that's brilliant. So anyway, so instead of sitting around and collecting dust, we sold these for $19.99, and we got $5.99 shipping for them. So we also sold some, let's see, we sold a game, and let's see, that is, yeah, here we go. We sold some games. This is a PS3 bundle. This is a lot of 3, and this is Bioshock 2 Infinite, and Diablo. So there are 3 games, PS3 going out. Again, we got like a sale going on, but this one actually sold when our sale came off, so I think I sent out a 20% offer. I got $17.99, and we'll get $5.99 shipping on this. We also sold another Hot Wheels. This is a Indy, I think it was called, let's see. Well, let's see what it's called. It's the 2001 Hot Wheels Final Run 500 Indy Racer. This is a number 7 of 12. Again, I guess when they retire these models, they do a final run, or I don't know if they still do that, but these are all the final runs that's no longer in production. So this was part of that big Hot Wheel buy that I made of a bunch of in-package ones that were all like this or very similar, the Camaro set and all that. So anyway, this one did sell for just $10, but we're getting $5.99 shipping, so that's going to go out. But again, I'm already way in the profit on those. I paid $25 for the entire set of all the ones I bought, and I've done that like twice over already, so I think we're going to be pretty good. All right, so we did have some comics go out, and I took an offer on one this morning, so I'll show that one first. This is the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, or I'm sorry, Uncanny X-Force number 3. This is a CGC 9.2. It's a Rick Remender story and a Jerome Opina art, Mark Dvorak cover. So this is a variant edition. So the fair market value on this is kind of weird. So this is a 9.2. Typically, you know, we obviously we want higher grades, but this is a 9.2, and the market on this one, the fair market value was around $60, which I found kind of strange, but I think the fair market value was set because of a couple bigger sales that were when this first came out. In the 9.2. It sat for a while, and I had just a ton of offers on it. And finally, I mean, I've had everything from $10 to $15. I think I was only asking $49 for it originally. I can't remember exactly, but I was already undervalued under that anyway. But I did end up taking an offer of $36. I have not much in it, maybe $12 in it. That's very little because I bought it with a bunch of other comics, so it's very low end on that. I didn't have this one graded. I bought this one pre-graded, so I'm gonna still make some money on it. It's gonna go out. Somebody's gonna be happy. They get a nice looking comic in it. Like I said, it is we can see a picture of it. It is a decent looking comic. Not my style. It's kind of an odd one, but that's gonna definitely make somebody happy. So also sold a Raw comic. This is the Captain America #1, and again, since you know #1 issue, so a lot of times when you get a #1 issue, always look them up just to check to see. You know, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not, but you know they can be very valuable and sometimes. But I actually had 2 of these, and this one sold for $12.10. We'll get $5.99 shipping. Now, last, I have it wrapped already, and I will put up a picture of this one. But this is Venom #3. It's a pretty cool cover. I think it's an Ed Begley cover, yeah, and it was a 9.8, but First Host, Venom First Host #3, really cool cover. I'll throw it up on the screen so you can see it. I was going to ship it out the day before Christmas because the order came in actually on Christmas Eve, and as I started to pack it and we started to do that, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go ship it. Even though we try to do fast shipping, I always have this fear if I ship something, it's expensive, because this one sold for $104.99. I was always afraid that if I ship it out and they go, oh, you know what, I changed my mind. It's happened to me before, and we've caught it just in time, but you know, I was worried that that same thing could happen. Plus being on Christmas Eve, you know, who knows? Did the post office take care of things? You know, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I just didn't want to take that chance. So I went ahead, I packed it, and then I threw the label and I put it on there for shipping out today. But I'll show you a picture of it so you can see what's sold. Other than that, the only thing I was talking about earlier was we did have a case filed against us. This is not a big deal. A lot of times when you say that, oh my God, you know, we have a pretty good feedback. My only bad feedback that I have right now is from an international shipping issue where we shipped some golf clubs up to Canada, and for some reason when it got to the eBay shipping, eBay canceled the order. No explanation. I tried as much as I could to find stuff. No explanation. Guy left me a negative feedback. eBay never removed it, even though I went to him 4 times and said, this wasn't my fault. This is your guys' fault. My package was within the requirements. You guys canceled the order. I didn't. You got me negative feedback. So I just kind of gave up on it because our feedback's still 99.8%. So I'm not going to worry about it, right? I mean, and it's not that big a deal. You can look at the feedback that we do have, and people are very pleased with what we do. But I did have a case filed. It was a Playboy magazine that went out back maybe at the start of December. Maybe, well, not quite. Actually, it was just about 2 weeks ago. The order got shipped. It was the 2000 version, the really cool cover. It got shipped, and it got to the post office, and then it sat. So they tried to, you could see where it attempted delivery, and then it said at the post office ready for pickup. So when I see that, my only assumption is that they're probably on vacation, right? So if you have your mail being held, it's going to show that it's at the post office. It wasn't a P.O. box, so I assumed that was what was going on. So I kind of left it there and didn't really, you get enough orders, you can't look at everything. I try to go through and I slide through and I look at all the deliveries, right, and the order page. So I'll go down and I'll go, okay, delivered. And if I see one that's from, a couple weeks ago and it says not delivered, I always try to take a look, because you never know. I mean, maybe you have to, intervene or do something to try to get that to move. So I will always go in there and take a look and see what happened. But in this case, I just figured they had their mail held. Well, next thing I know, and again, if you get busy, and it was busy over the Christmas, holiday, with everything else going on between the business and family and everything else, I didn't get a chance to go back and look. Well, it turns around and they're sending it back to me. So I'm going to be getting the magazine back. Not a big deal, right? She filed a case against it and saying that the item not received. So item not received, no problem. eBay's expectation is that, you ship out on time and you have a tracking number. So all I do is I put the tracking number in there and I put it in there. And I did email her and actually copied out the tracking and said, it's been sitting at your post office. You didn't leave a forwarding address. It said no address. The person changed their address. So that's not my problem. That's their problem. So I'm not going to refund their money until I get my magazine back, because it's a good $20 magazine. So I'll wait until I get it back, and then once I get it back, I said I'll cancel. I'll refund you, and you can reorder it if you want. And if she doesn't reorder it, I'll just put it back out for sale. It will sell. So I'm not worried about that. So anyway, those things happen. That's part of doing business, right? It's not the first time we've had a case that was filed against us. Last year we probably had maybe one item not as described, and it was simply a game that must have had a scratch on it that I didn't see. And I'll take those. Those are my fault. I didn't let that one go. I don't send out crappy games. I look and inspect every game that we get. We flip them open, look at them. I clean them and buff them. I put them back in, and we do the photos, and then we send them out once they sell. But it was just a miss, or it might have been something that sometimes you can't tell unless you test every game. And we try to test some of them if I have the system for them. Like right now, I don't have a Wii, so these are all not tested. But when I buy them, I also try to say, hey, were you guys playing these? Yes, they were. And if they look good, I don't worry about them as much. But we test all of our game cartridges and things like that. I also test all the PlayStation 2. I test all the Xbox 360s because I have those. I just throw them in, see if they boot up. They boot up, they're good, we go on. So, and that's usually the way it is. And about 99% of the time, that's about all you need. At least as far as I'm concerned, because they boot up for me, then they should be good. So anyway, but we'll get that taken care of. I'll probably get that back in the mail, hopefully by Friday, maybe Saturday, and then I'll just relist it. I'll refund her money and kind of let her go from there. But I hate doing that. I hate that happens. I'm sure that maybe it was a gift or something, which is unfortunate. But it's we can't fix everything for everybody, and sometimes people are going to have the wrong addresses in there. So that's just kind of the way it goes. But that's kind of what's gone out. Again, I think for this week so far, we're about $361 with the sale of that. We're over $490 with the Tory Burch bag. I've sent out a ton of offers, and just because we wanted to have something, our sale ended on the 23rd at midnight. Because I just didn't want to deal with a bunch of stuff over Christmas. I did start a new sale that started last night at midnight, and that's running through the 6th of January, because we're going to be out of town for a little while in January to go to market, which that'll be something interesting. We'll talk a little bit about that, what my wife does when she goes to market and buys in Atlanta. A lot of fun. I'm going to shoot some video at market so you can see where all the stuff is really sold to stores and to gift stores and places and businesses. So it's kind of interesting. So I'll shoot some video there and kind of show what goes on. It's an interesting time, and it's a different way of buying stuff. So, you know, and we can buy wholesale. I'm actually going to look for some stuff that we can use in our booth, because we can sell a lot of new stuff in our booth. And so I'll probably look for some things that we can kind of resell in there. So I'm going to try to do a little shopping for myself as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. And I'll get this out, and I'll show later on this weekend. I'm sure we'll run another video real quick. It's going to be a house of crazy because my 3.5-year-old grandson's going to be here today. I'm so excited. My daughter's coming, my son-in-law. My youngest daughter's already here, so we're having a lot of fun. We got a house full of dogs, which is crazy fun. And so we will see how all this kind of plays out this week, but it should be fun. It's not a big house, so it's going to be a lot of people, but it'll be a blast and we'll love it. So anyway, that's pretty much what we got going on today. I'm David Beckham, Breeze Flippers. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a safe time, and I hope you have a safe and Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.